Alright, hey guys, OmniGamer here, and today, guys, is actually, believe it or not, the Nintendo Switch's 5-year anniversary. Yeah, the system went on sale exactly 5 years ago today, on the 3rd of March 2017, and I decided that I would celebrate by making this video basically just discussing the Nintendo Switch. I'm going to talk about the system itself, talk about my personal experiences with the system, because I had it like very, very early on, and talk about all the games I've got for the system, as well as all the stuff that I've downloaded onto my Switch as well, which I don't think I've ever showed you guys before. But yeah, so that's what this video is going to be. It's just going to be a discussion video, really, just talking about the Switch and my experiences and whatnot. So yeah, 5 years, half a decade ago today, the Nintendo Switch launched, and it's crazy because like I still remember when there was a lot of rumors going around with the system back when it was called like Codename NX. You guys remember that? Before it was revealed as a Switch, it was originally known as Codename NX, and Nintendo teased it back in like 2015, I think, that the next system was in the works and it was called Codename NX. You know, that was during the Wii U era, which was a really dark time for Nintendo, because obviously like the Wii U was a huge commercial flop. It only ended up selling 13 million units in its entire life cycle. And despite the fact the Wii U was such a great system, it just, it never did anywhere close to the numbers that the Wii did, I mean, the Wii was a huge juggernaut success, and the Wii U just couldn't get anywhere near it. So Nintendo had to, come up with, a new system as quickly as possible and try to forget about the Wii U as quickly as possible. And so they put out the Switch at the beginning of 2017, and it ended up surpassing everyone's expectations, really. There was a lot of people really skeptical. I remember when the Switch first came out, there's a lot of people skeptical on whether or not it was going to be a success or not. And even myself, I was a little bit skeptical. I mean, I knew that the Switch had potential to be quite a big hit, but I never knew that it was going to be as successful as it is now. I mean, just recently, the Switch actually surpassed the Nintendo Wii in its entire lifetime sales. It's crazy. The system is now become one of the top best-selling game systems of all time. Sold over 100 million units. I think it's even, if I believe or not, it's close to or even surpassed at this point the original PlayStation in console sales. It's crazy. The Switch has just been a huge success. The fact that it's especially it's outsold the Wii. It's actually outsold the Wii, which who would have ever thought that would ever happen? And one of the reasons for success is probably its uniqueness, really, because the Switch is unlike any other game system that's really ever been released before. I mean, it's the first true handheld console hybrid system. I mean, obviously there were things in the past that tried to do something similar to what the Switch does, with things like the Sega Nomad in the mid-90s, which was a portable Sega Genesis that you could hook up to a TV. And there was also other things like the PSP had an adapter where you could plug that into the TV as well. But the Switch was really the first true hybrid console. I mean, from day one, you could play it as a normal, regular home console, hook it up to your TV and play it that way, or you can just play it as a handheld, straight away, It really was the first true, and really the only true portable hybrid system, because ones before in the past, the Sega Nomad, the Sega Nomad was just, a portable version of the Genesis. The Genesis was a system that already existed for many years beforehand, and during the end of its life, Sega decided to release a portable version just to make a little bit more money before the Genesis completely died off. And the PSP, with its little adapter, the PSP was a handheld from day one. It was solely a handheld, and the adapter Sony released was later on, and that was just an optional thing, really, just for people who really wanted to play PSP games that badly on TV. They had that option, but obviously the PSP was always just mainly a handheld. So yeah, the Switch is a really unique system, and there really isn't anything else like it. And 5 years after its release, it's become this huge success. There's been 3 different iterations. Of course, there's the original Switch, which is what I have. I had the original 2017 launch model Switch. There's a Switch Lite that came out in 2019, and most recently the Switch OLED, which came out last year, which that one had, the 7-inch OLED screen, had an improved kickstand, and it was just overall a much more improved version of the Switch. It wasn't the Switch Pro that everyone was hoping it would be, because it still was using the same hardware the Switch has had since day one, the same Tegra X1 chip and all that, but, it was a more refined version of the Switch, really. And who knows if we will ever get a proper Switch Pro. I mean, I feel like at this point, Nintendo's probably more likely going to make a true successor to the Switch rather than a Switch Pro. I feel like it's a bit too late now to release a Switch Pro, especially, you know, with the 9th gen consoles already being out. You know, I think it would only make sense that Nintendo moves on and makes a next gen Switch. So yeah, so with all the backstory on the Switch and stuff being said, let's take a look at the actual system itself, shall we? So yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, this is the original launch model Switch I've had since August of 2017. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got like quite a lot of marks and stuff on the screen. And yeah, here it is, the original Switch. And it's still kind of crazy to think that this is actually just the system itself. Like if we take off the Joy-Cons, like this right here, this is actually the Switch. This in itself, this is the actual console. Like it's basically just a tablet. I mean, like it's crazy. Like this is the actual Switch itself. You know, the dock is just for, you know, plugging up to the TV. And obviously these are the controllers. But this is actually the system itself. Of course, you've got the touchscreen right here for when you're playing in portable mode. And the sides where you put in the Joy-Cons. There's the back with the crappy kickstand. Obviously the OLED model has a better kickstand, but the original ones has a... I mean, the kickstand's alright, I guess, if you're putting it on a completely flat surface. It's fine. But anywhere else, like on a bed or something, it's just going to keep slipping up, you know, like it's going to keep falling over. Got the speakers right there, of course, Switch logo. And then on the top, we have the power button, the volume buttons, the heat sink right there, headphone jack, and obviously the slot to put in your games right there. So yeah, and of course, we have the actual Joy-Cons themselves. I decided to get the grey model Switch. I'm not entirely sure why, because they had two versions at launch. They had the grey one and they had the neon one, where one Joy-Con was neon blue and the other was neon red. And I don't know why, but I decided to ask my parents to get me the grey one. Not entirely sure why, but now I kind of wish I got the neon one, because I prefer the colour scheme of that one. But at the time I decided to just get the grey one. But yeah, and the system is on at the moment. It's currently in sleep mode, as you can see. So of course we've got the Switch menu right here. Just quickly show you all the stuff that I've downloaded. Like I mentioned, it's pretty much just demos. I mean, we've got the trial version here for Samurai Warriors 5 and the demo for Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires. I just downloaded these two like last week, I think. And then we've got the demo for Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 and the original game as well. Got a demo for that. Got a demo for Metroid Dread. Got YouTube on here. And these are all games I own physically. I'll just skip over those because I'll talk about those in a minute. What else? I got Tetris 99 as well. Got a demo for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Super Mario 35. The demo for Hatsune Miku Project Diva Megamix. And yeah, the rest are all games I own physically. So yeah, so that's all the stuff I own on my Nintendo Switch. And if any of you lot actually want to follow me on Nintendo Switch, just real quick, we'll quickly load up my my friend code. Yeah, that's my friend code right there. If any of you want to follow me, you know, feel free to. So yeah, so that's everything I have digitally on my system. Now let's have a quick look at all the games I own physically for Nintendo Switch. Now this is in no particular order really, you know, these games are just, I put all the games obviously in the same series together, but other than that, they're honestly just in no order. So let's just quickly have a look at all the games I own for the Switch. So starting things off with Lego Marvel Super Heroes 2, Lego City Undercover, Lego Worlds, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Super Mario Maker 2, Sonic Mania Plus, Sonic Forces, Sega Mega Drive Classics, Doom 2016, Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, Ultra Street Fighter 2, Warriors Orochi 4, Monopoly for Nintendo Switch, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. So yeah, so those are all the games I own physically on the Switch, and digital ones, which I just showed you a minute ago. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know like in the comments like what games you own for the Nintendo Switch, what model of the Switch do you have, some of your memories with the Nintendo Switch. And yeah, with all that being said, please like, subscribe, and peace. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And once again, happy 5th anniversary to the Nintendo Switch.